What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back and we have some Gavin Newsom news. And this, of course, is the same guy, California governor, who destroyed San Francisco, slept with his best friend's wife, blamed it on the alcohol, and then checked himself into some sort of outpatient program. But as we know, these politicians constantly fail up the ladder, so there was only one way for him to go after destroying San Francisco, which used to be a beautiful city. He now gets to work on destroying the entire state. And this is from the SF Gate. Newsom has deeper ties to Silicon Valley Bank than he let on, report says. So again, is this surprising to anybody that the creepy governor of California has some ties to a bank that just collapsed? It shouldn't surprise anybody. Just like the other day, we saw a story of Eric Adams who, had some campaign finance violations. And I mean, who didn't see that coming? 3 wineries owned by California Governor Gavin Newsom are clients of Silicon Valley Bank, and the governor has maintained personal accounts at the institution for years, according to a Tuesday report from The Intercept. So yeah, he owns those wineries, and he was, of course, notoriously dining out at the French Laundry in Napa Valley when he told you that you couldn't even leave the house because the air was too deadly. And naturally, he's banking at a completely corrupt bank. All right, look, I don't know about the corruption at the bank, but we do know that they had some policies that weren't conducive to a successful business. The news that Newsom has had personal accounts at the bank was revealed by a former staffer who spoke to The Intercept on the condition of anonymity. The 3 Newsom-owned wineries, Cade, Odette, and Plumpjack, are listed as clients on the bank's website. The report also said that a Silicon Valley Bank executive made a $100,000 donation to the California Partners Project, a charity founded by Newsom's wife, Jennifer Siebel Newsom. She's awful as well. At the behest of the governor, and that a bank executive sits on the charity's board of directors. So naturally, these people are in bed together. It's just it's just so predictable, right? There's no way that anybody is going to be surprised by this. Oh, well, Governor Gavin Newsom in California was connected to a bank that just collapsed. Oh, crazy, shocking. Obviously, they're all in bed together. Look, I don't want to sound incredibly conspiratorial, but of course they are. And then the bank gets bailed out, or they didn't get bailed out, but everybody's going to get their money back. I don't know exactly how it happened. I'm not a financial expert, obviously, not financial advice. But of course, there's always some sort of weird scam with these politicians and these completely corrupt businesses. You could take it all the way back to Solyndra, right? There's some weirdo green energy firm that was gifted billions of dollars back in the Obama presidency, and then they just collapsed. And where does the money go? Who knows? Doesn't matter. Just put your mask back on. Silicon Valley Bank is the Santa Clara bank that failed last week amid a bank run when several clients withdrew their money in a panic. Federal officials have said all the depositors will be protected and can access their funds in full, an extraordinary step given that only deposits of $250,000 or less are fully insured under federal law. Federal filings show that 85% of the funds deposited in the bank are uninsured. So look, I don't know. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. I can't, connect the dots directly from Newsom to the bank, but it shouldn't be surprising that obviously the completely corrupt governor of California, who notoriously destroyed San Francisco, is connected to this bank. And of course, he's going to go have a glass of wine at his winery and then go to, one of the highest rated restaurants in the country, French Laundry. Actually, I think French Laundry might have closed, but that's a different story. And this goes on and on and on to let us know that Gavin Newsom didn't really want you to know that he had connections to that bank. But then we have this other story. Newsom plans to build 1,200 tiny homes for homeless, none in San Francisco. So they're getting more money to build more tiny homes because he's going to eradicate homelessness, which is obviously untrue. These people, look, I can't testify about everybody, but it's pretty clear that a lot of the people in San Francisco are the homeless people, the homeless population in California. Not all, but most aren't really willing to take the help because that comes with strings most times. Like, I don't know, maybe you can't sit around shooting dope all day, right? They're not just going to give you free. Now, they probably want to. They're going to give you free needles and all that stuff, fentanyl test strips. But when they're going to build a house for you and give you money, they should at least say, hey, you got to kick the habit, right? When you go to a shelter, that's why they don't like going to shelters, because they don't let you drink and do drugs in there. And it's the same thing. And does anybody for one split second think that these 1,200 tiny homes aren't going to immediately just be turned into another. I mean, it's basically going to be a tent city. They were handing out tents in San Francisco, right? Do we think that the people who are given this free stuff are going to take the best care of it? Obviously not. California Governor Gavin Newsom will announce plans Thursday to build 1,200 small homes across the state as part of an effort to help house the nation's largest homeless population and to address an issue that has persistently plagued the state during his time in office. Yeah, so this is him, I guess, working towards that presidential run, and he's going to be able to claim that he, ended the homelessness problem. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, they're going to give black people $5 million apiece. Where is all this money coming from? None of this makes sense. We're just going to build new houses that are eventually going to turn into a dump, right? None of this is going to be nice. None of this is going to be real livable. It's just going to be a step up from a tent, and they're all going to be shooting dope in there. And then you have stories like this: Alameda catalytic converter thefts up since New Year. So this is what's happening. It's all completely insane, and I don't know. It's a constant race to the bottom between California and New York, and there's lead changes all the time, right? It just depends on the day, but they are reading from the same playbook, and that's why they're so close together when it comes to their corruption playbook, right? It happens at the same time. Even their corruption stories, even Gavin Newsom being outed as a customer of Silicon Valley Bank comes, a couple days after Eric Adams has this scandal about campaign finances. It's like, of course, it's just all so predictable at this point. And here's the last one: how Gavin Newsom plans to transform California's infamous San Quentin state prison. So we heard, 6-8 months ago, maybe a year ago now at this point, that they were letting men into women's prisons because they're all absolutely delusional hacks. And now he wants to basically accommodate prisoners, which we also see in New York. So first, we're going to give free money to the Transformers. We're going to build free houses for the junkies. And now we're going to make sure that the prisoners are comfortable, because everybody matters except for the taxpayers in California who are actually funding this stuff, whether they want to or not. California's infamous San Quentin State Prison is headed for a major transformation as Governor Gavin Newsom advances his effort to remake the state's penal system. Newsom is scheduled to visit the 171-year-old penitentiary Friday and detail plans to shift it from a maximum security facility to a center for education and training within the prison system, according to his press office. In a statement Thursday, Newsom called the prison's impending evolution a new model for safety and justice, the California model that will lead the nation. So they are good at the euphemisms. They are good at manipulating the language and making you think that they're actually going to help somebody. And they might actually help prisoners because they definitely care far more about criminals than they do about taxpaying Californians. The governor's plan includes renaming the facility. This is what they rename, they redefine every single thing. This is the foundation of all of their scams, is redefining words. The governor's plan includes renaming the facility San Quentin Rehabilitation Center and creating an advisory group of rehabilitation and public safety experts to lead the transformation. So, of course, everybody matters. Same thing in New York, same in California. The criminals, the Transformers, the homeless people, the junkies, everybody matters far more than the people who actually go to work every single day and pay their taxes. But that's par for the course, for the completely corrupt states of California and New York. So this obviously is all about Newsom and California, but I can't help but constantly compare the two, because if you look at these stories, you will see that they're doing the same thing at the same time. It wasn't that long ago we saw that they were going to, fix Rikers Island because the prisoners were having a bad time. Well, yeah, of course the prisoners are having a bad time at Rikers Island. What about the people who can't even go shopping at CVS without a dog in front? And there's another story out of New York where they're using facial recognition technology at grocery stores now to keep the theft down. Right? So they're always going to put these weird Band-Aids on the actual problems, and they're going to cater to the criminals, cater to the illegals, cater to the junkies, and leave the regular citizens high and dry. Par for the course. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.